Okay, we're going to do a little bit of a how-to video on raising baby chicks, and you see they've pooped this up pretty nicely in here. Our method and system that we've developed through the years, and I literally cannot tell you how many baby chicks we've raised through the years. We almost always get some at Tractor Supply or one of the feed stores or one of the hardware stores that has chick days. This year all of these came from Tractor Supply. We got another tub over on the other side which we'll also do a little bit with. We just divided the meat birds and the layers, the black sex link layers, up. But I literally can't tell you how many batches of chicks we've done this with before. With minor variations. As you can see, we've got a nice little metal grate up here. It's got the plastic on it, still shelving stuff they used to sell. You can still get it in some places. And we put a light on it, just with an incandescent light, produces a little heat. Sometimes you may have to put a towel in front of it because the chicks will let you know if they're cold. They will be peeping like crazy. Last year, my wife took one of my tubs that we grow other stuff in that I hadn't drilled holes in yet, and we had a hen that hatched them sort of mid-summer, late summer, and hatched a couple of mid-late summer. Snake got a couple, and so she took the surviving babies and raised them in the thing, and they're the ones that were up under my feet when I was trying to do the video on the Seminole pumpkins. She played with them a little more than she should have. Got them very friendly. So, on the buckets too. Yeah, these are just simply tubs. They're fairly deep, and these have wheels. You can see there is a lot of advantage to having a tub that has wheels, especially as you get older. And my wife and I are definitely doing that. Grandchildren make you feel very old at times. But our system is very simple. Like I said, our heat is just an incandescent light on a thing. We got a rack built across the top. We have waters in there. That's just a simple, go down to Tractor Supply or one of the hardware stores or something like that and grab the little waters. You screw a mason jar into it and flip it upside down, and they work very well. The metal, we've always found that the metal feeders that have the holes in it, or plastic feeders that have the holes in them, work best. The longer one is always better, especially if you get any of the meat birds, because the meat birds, all they do is eat. Even at this age, all they do is eat. Which is why we were very happy to get these guys at 50 cents each. So I'm going to clean this up here in a minute. We just want to kind of show some of the how-tos and what we do. We had a hen, I don't know, 3 years ago, maybe even 4 years ago, that sat on 17 eggs, and we thought, well, she'll hatch some, then, you know, no big deal. Well, the silly thing hatched all 17 eggs. One thing I can tell you about a hen, they cannot take care of 17 eggs. So, or they can't take care of 17 chicks. We walked out that night to check on her, and we heard peeping everywhere. So we had to go find baby chicks everywhere, and we left her with like 7, and we raised the other 10, simply because Mama had too many. So our system has developed over the years, and this simply works well. She's going to film me cleaning it now. And basically, you'll want to take it out and clean it completely. You'll want to take the chicks out and clean it completely, like once a week or however often it takes. It varies based on how many chicks you have. But right now, we're just going to show a cleaning. This will get you through to about a week without having to make a major clean.
I've been cleaning these every morning with these chicks.
Yeah, well, it's because of the fat boys in there. Yeah. The meat birds.
Yeah.
They are different. They eat more, they poop more, they do everything more. They grow more.
Yeah, it's usually like every 2-3 days, but these every morning.
She also usually doesn't clean it the way I do, where I just take out the majority of the stuff where they pooped. She is much more likely to just dump it all out and start over again. So, all right, I'm going to show you just getting it cleaned up a little bit. And like I said, the meat birds kind of changed the equation, but at 50 cents a piece, there was no way in the world. And as you can see, this is beautiful stuff for compost.
You raise it. Yeah,
It is.
put it slower so you can see.
Yeah, this is beautiful stuff for compost. It's a mixture of chicken manure and pine shavings, and they really get excited. Not necessarily in a good way when you start doing this, and they will let you know if they are cold. They will
Peep like
they
that.
will peep like this when you're not in here, when it's just sitting. They'll be a real steady peep 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 peep. They're telling you, I'm cold, man, I'm cold. So you want to come in and if you're in a real cold climate, it's probably not a bad idea to have a small heater going in the room or wherever you're going to be raising them. But you should definitely go and check on them periodically. Okay, you can go ahead and turn that off, and we'll finish.
One other thing is, I wear gloves when I clean them. He never does. But I do. It's a girl thing. Okay.
You might could argue I should, but I handle chicken poop and all kinds of stuff like that out in the yard all the time, all day long. Well, any day I'm home, and I put it in my flower pots or my garden, so I'm always handling it. It's not an issue. And as you can see, you can get quite a nice bit of stuff to make mulch out of.
Yeah. All
Make
right.
mulch, make compost. All right, we'll come back in a
We'll
minute.
talk to you later.
Okay, next step. We've already cleaned out the majority of the poop in there.
Fresh water.
Fresh water. And they got feed earlier this morning because they were fussing. And we always keep a bucket of wood shavings, clean wood shavings in the house. Well, always. Anytime we have chicks, we always keep a bucket of fresh wood shavings in. And just fill it up. And everybody's going to find a system that works. Got to get some more wood shavings in before we clean the other tub. But everybody's going to have to find a system that kind of works for them. But like I said, we've been doing this for quite a few years now. And now we're going to get rid of petting the chickens.
Yeah.
That's dinner. Dinner, lunch, roaster.
Now go back over there to the other side in just a minute.
They'll come over and hang out, and we'll start cleaning the other batch. We have 2 this year, so this works really well. You got a nice deep tub. We were only planning on getting 10 chicks, and then they had chicks for sale on chick days because they were getting too big and they didn't want to feed them no more. And I'm sitting there thinking, great, you all put a couple of dollars worth of feed in them suckers for me, and you're selling them to me for 50 cents. I love that. So anyway, this works well. These metal grates are wonderful. If it gets cold, you can throw a towel or a couple of towels over it to keep the heat in there better.
We use a 100-watt light.
We use a 100-watt light bulb, incandescent light bulb. We have used heat bulb lamps, but we find they don't really do all that well. So we'd rather use a 100-watt incandescent bulb. And like I said, I cannot tell you how many times we've used variations on this method and worked it out where we're comfortable with it through the years. And we've hatched all kinds of our own chicks in an incubator. We've hatched geese before many years ago. We've hatched turkeys. We've never done ducks. I don't have good access to water, so there's no way I'm doing a kitty tub or anything like that with ducks. It's just not going to happen. But anyway, this is a kind of a how-to, what the parts are. Here's the other grate over here. You lay this over.
It's just a shelf.
Yeah, it's just an old metal wire shelf. You lay it over top of this, and it covers. There's no way they're going to fly up and bang out of that. And if you think they may, you can always
And
put your...
keeps the grandkids out of it.
Always, yeah. Yeah. Little grandkids love little birds. Little birds don't do well when little grandkids handle birds. So,
Okay.
and like I said, if they do a lot of peeping, just lay a towel over it. We may add a little bit more to this in a few minutes, but this is just an easy how-to on a system that we've developed over the years and works really, really well. So, thank you for watching. If you enjoy this, I'd ask you to subscribe. Bye. Okay, one thing I didn't mention, we don't have a thermometer in our in these. We probably haven't put a thermometer in with our chicks in 10, 12 years, something like that. You can watch the birds and tell that whether they're hot or whether they're cold. This batch right here is pretty comfortable, and they might even say with a towel over it it's slightly warm because they are not under the light. They are all out from the light a little bit, and a couple of meat birds are sitting there with their heads sitting on the ground and eating the food, which is very common. We got another one over here drinking a little bit, reaching out and drinking a little bit. If they're hot, they will move to the opposite side. They'll come over here. They'll all be sitting over here. Typically what you will find is that if you got your temperature close, you'll find some under the light and some away from the light. I got another batch up here and I disturbed them, so they're now all scratching through the wood shavings right now. But whenever I started to clean this group up, half of them were laying over here on this side away from the light, and the other half were laying up under the light, and there's like one or two kind of in between. And so that means they were self-regulating and they were very happy with the temperature. That is what you're looking for. I do suggest that people who are just starting, it's not a bad idea at all to have a thermometer in there. But like I said, we've been doing this for a while, and we almost never have a thermometer in there. If the birds are peeping, do something to get it warmer, or you'll have dead birds the next morning. So if they're not, this is just that peep you hear now is just I'm a happy, content bird. That's that peep. And they're bouncing around like crazy at times. That is not the peep of I'm cold, get me warm or I'm dying. It's a much different sound. So anyway, just a little addition to what we've already talked about, and I'll probably put this on the end. So I will ask you to subscribe again if you enjoy this.